versus the Charlestown Chiefs. Brought to you by Sheehan's Rustproofing. The Chiefs have just come out on the ice for a warm-up period. They're about to try for their 5th consecutive win. They're getting a good round of applause from their own booster club, who have traveled all the way from Charlestown to be here in Peterborough tonight.
Are you a first responder, a veteran, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, or a Let's Go Blues radio listener? Of course you are. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call real estate superstar Mike Burgoyne today at 314-753-4060 or email him at mike@strikewithmike.com to earn special rates today.
60 Pickleball is an industry leader in high-end pickleball paddles. Use discount code CPRICE10 to get 10% off at 60pickleball.com. Don't get stuck on the court with an inferior paddle. Go next level with 60.
This is Carl Lindbom of Carl Lindbom's Carly Bon, and thanks for tuning in to Let's Go Blues Radio over the summer. You'll hear some of Jeff Ponder, a little of Bill Day, and unfortunately some of that nasty American Kurt Price. Enjoy the show.
Nasty American, is that the best you
that? Hey, I told Carl, say whatever you want about the show, and that was what he said. For those of you on the podcast, you have no idea what we're talking about. You know what? You know what? For the podcasters, I will play the video opening now. I hope you enjoyed that, podcasters. Welcome to episode 34 of season 14. This is episode number 515 all time of the often imitated, never duplicated rhythm in leather form. Damn it. Rhythm in letter form. We're the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Check out no, don't do that. Don't check out the LGB Minute, because that is not being used right now. Check it out next season. It is Thursday, June 26th, and we're streaming live to the masses. Make sure to follow us on socials at LGB Radio and follow, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I'm your host, Jeff Ponder. I'm joined by an American hero in Bill Day and that American trash from Troy, Illinois, Kurt Price. The agenda for tonight includes the Blues rebranding, the upcoming draft and free agent period, and more on this remixed, remastered, and reborn episode of Let's Go Blues Radio. So yes, I did steal some of the language that the Blues have used with their rebranding, which we will get into. Boys, it's been about a month-ish, more than a month, 5 to 6 weeks since we've had a show, which is the longest delay we've had in a long time. How have things been?
Busy schedule. A lot going on. Which, yes. Like in the summer is supposed to be like time off for me. No. Oh, no.
Time off. Can someone please explain this concept to me?
Yeah.
I do not understand it.
I agree. Already getting shit in the chat, which I deserve. Trees, Ponder lost a bet and had to get the Guy Fieri, or however you say his name, look.
Fieri.
Yeah. And then Matt Emelo 12 says Sugar Ray.
That's what I was gonna try to jump in the intro and say. Glad to be joined by Mark McGrath today.
I hate both of those people, so that is both are very good digs, gentlemen.
You know what?
Good
you
work.
need a shirt that says "Put your arms around me, baby."
Yeah, there you go. That was their worst song. That album. I say worst song. Obviously, they had much worse once they got big and sold out. But their first album was really good. You should take a listen to that first album. It's all metal, very good. Then they sold out, and
that made them all their money.
I know.
So you can't blame them.
No, but I hated them as a kid because I'm like, come on, you guys were actually good.
Would you rather
Jesse
be
Hill,
good or
all those
rich?
blonde tips. Let's go Ponder. I'd rather be both. So
you can't have both. Not in the music industry.
That's true. So I just want to say here at the Open that we're happy to be back. It's been a little while. We haven't had a show since our season recap show. So congratulations to the Florida Panthers for beating Stan Bowman and the shithead Edmonton Oilers. Did you guys watch the final? What'd you think?
Yeah. Thank you for Kasperi Kapanen not winning a cup. That was my silver lining from the whole thing.
Yep. Agree. Well, it's like one thing to be let go on waivers and then see him go win a cup. Like if that's anyone that sucks, like if Brandon Saad would have won, it would have been like, come on. But yeah, Kasperi Kapanen, horrible hockey player. Cannot believe he's still in the league. Can't believe he scored a huge goal.
I can't believe that he was getting platooned with Arvidsson. Yeah. Like, God, those two guys aren't really in the same league.
No.
Better team won.
Better team won.
Better team won. I mean, I don't think it was particularly close.
Yeah. No. Well, it looked close at the start. I mean, two games, I was like, this is going to be the best Stanley Cup final ever.
Yeah, but
Florida just ran away with it.
Yeah, over the course of a series, oftentimes the cream rises to the top, right? So, I mean, yeah, I mean, any team can hang with any other team in the NHL in any given game. So a series can look close often right away, but then over the course of a longer series, Florida's better. They have better goaltending. Not even close. So.
Yeah, and that's, to me, the narrative coming out of that series is, right, everything got pinned on Stuart Skinner. I actually would have gone back to Pickard in Game 7 just because that the script was you go back to Skinner, and he gave up a goal in the first fucking shot. It was over, right? That was his MO. That's exactly what happened. And I read a lot of beer league appreciation posts about Pickard during that series, and I mean the guy looks like a beer league goalie who is successful at the NHL level. Really wanted to see him get the shot in Game 7 and it didn't work out. And
have you seen heard some of the chatter about some fans wanting Edmonton to offer Sheet Hofer?
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, it's more likely they're going to.
The reasoning behind it, right? Is to get back at the Blues and to get a hopefully a quality goaltender for them. But
it's the Steve Bernier, David Backes thing all over again, but in goal.
Right.
Yep. Right. That's true. I think it's more likely that I actually think they will sign Carter Hart, which. Just if they would have kept Evander Kane, they would have been the Florida Panthers of the West. Like let's just have everyone on this team that everybody hates. Carter Hart being one of them, obviously Stan Bowman. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that I don't know if he's found innocent. Okay, but like there's so much surrounding that guy. Same with Evander Kane. And it's just like Edmonton just seems to jump all over guys like that.
Well, they did jettison Kane, so they need.
The responses from Vancouver fans has been one of my favorite things to look at in the offseason. They are so unhappy.
Like, what are you doing rescuing a team from your own division from salary cap hell?
That and like just the fact that it's like they've just dealt with horrible locker room issues with JT Miller. So you're going to bring in Evander Kane? Okay, good luck.
He's learned his lesson.
Yeah, okay. Well, as I said, guys, we are actually, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's talk about beers first. Official beers of episode number 515. Remember, you can follow each of us on the Untapped app. I didn't forget to post this today, but I will post it after the show. I am at jponner94, Kurt's at cprice12, Bill is at Billy Blue Note 33. We've still got me listed first, so I'll go ahead and do it. I'm drinking one that I don't believe we've ever had on the show before. This is from New Glarus Brewing Company in Wisconsin, the Spotted Cow Ale. Have you guys had this before?
I've had something by New Glarus, but I don't know if it was that one.
Spotted Cow is fantastic. It's got a nice little story here. Let's read it real quick. Wisconsin's original farmhouse ale is artisan brewed and canned by the hardworking employee owners here in New Glarus. Spotted Cow adheres to the, oh my word,
Reinheitsgebot.
That exactly, yes.
That was
Purity
the
law
Billy Bush
using
thing, right?
using only 4 all natural ingredients: yeast, hops, water, and malted barley. Yeast remains in the can to enhance the fullness of flavors. It is naturally cloudy. Expect this ale to be fun, fruity, and satisfying. You know you're in Wisconsin when you see the Spotted Cow. This is good stuff. My buddy goes up to Wisconsin like once a year, and he comes back with like 12 24 packs. And last night at hockey, actually, Bill, you might remember Jamie Estes. Kurt, you met him too. He was at our 500th show. But yeah, he came. He was just like, dude, I have got a fridge full of this stuff. I got to get rid of some of it. Do you want it? And I was like, how much? And he's like, I'll give you the full 24 pack. And I'm like, okay. So I've got a 24 pack now full of this beer. So should be a fun weekend.
That's awesome.
Yep. Good stuff.
Kurt doesn't have a beer.
No beer for Kurt?
He looked in the fridge and there was no beer to be found.
There's beer in there, but it's Bourbon County and actually there's a bubble hockey in there, which is like old as hell. And
try it. Open it up.
A Play Gloria, which is old.
Well, I am doing nothing. I'm still trying to get rid of all of my old beer. Yeah. And now I'm on to the Founders stuff. So mine tonight, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in there. Fruitwood.
I've had that.
Yeah. This was.
I had that
2017. Super old, not very good at this point. It was really good beer. But it's cherry ale aged in maple syrup bourbon barrels. All that flavor is nowhere to be found at this point in time. So yeah, I'm gonna drink it all, and hopefully it doesn't get me sick.
It tastes like the dirt that fruit was grown in, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So maybe I will open that up. That's an
Mm.
old school Play Gloria from RIP Sunrise Brewery.
Yeah.
That's a sick looking can though, isn't it?
Yeah. Those are great. Gotta display that bad boy.
Yeah. I have one. I have one displayed actually on my wall of beers. But
I've got a wall of beers over here. I'm thinking about moving it behind me, so we'll see.
And it's an IPA, which I'm not a fan of, but let's see how it's still got foam. So
we got Baked Beaver in the chat. What's up, Kyle? He says, what's up, guys? PBR for the win. And Kurt is having an aneurysm now.
I don't like strong hoppy IPAs, and it's up there. It's wrongly taking up space in my fridge.
The Play Gloria is?
Yeah, it's
an IPA.
Hazy IPA. Yeah.
I thought it was a lager.
That's what I thought it was too.
No, that's the Old Arena is a lager.
Yeah. Huh. That's a shame. You can't name Play Gloria and have it be an IPA. Ugh.
Yeah, better. Yeah, that's not a bitter song. That's a happy song. That should be a
very happy song.
That should be a lager.
A brand of
blonde.
It should be a brand. It should be a brand of cocaine.
A blonde ale. That'd have been nice for them.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, we've got a couple other comments here in the chat as well. D Browns with 2 S's. After hearing Oilers fans betting Holloway and Broberg were regretting signing offer sheets and them losing a game sooner and looking worse was my favorite part. Yeah, that is funny. I did see that. A lot of people saying during the chat or during the final, oh yeah, Broberg and Holloway are probably sitting there right now, so upset. And even our friend of the show, Michael Hebert of Heavy Hockey, even messaged me a picture, and it was an AI picture of the two of them wearing their Oilers jerseys, sitting there eating popcorn with tears streaming down their face. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think they're really that upset, man.
It was very interesting to talk to him after the offer sheet thing happened. That was very, to hear an educated Oilers fan, right, talk about the situation, and that was a good interview.
Might bring him back this summer.
Yeah.
You know what I say? I will bring him back this summer. Because I think that would be fun to kind of still revisit a year later, and then obviously talk to him about where this team is headed.
You could have him talk about how he was wrong about Holloway.
That's true. That is
he
true.
was dead wrong about how he was going to perform. Yeah.
I should pull up clips and be like, remember when you said this? What do you think now?
Yeah, he was like all poo-pooing that he wouldn't get 20 goals and all that stuff. So,
I think he said 15 goals was his high.
He was like, I'm like, yeah, but and I think he was basing that based on how he played so far. But I'm like, he hadn't played many games, and he was, moving up. It was progressing. So it was like his natural progression to me was like over 20, and that's
agreed.
So.
Well, again, like I said, we are officially back. We took our brief hiatus, just a lot. I mean, Kurt mentioned being busy. That was the same for all three of us. And, for those of you who are passionate fans of this show and listen every week, which we appreciate, that I kind of take things over the summer. When the Blues lost, it had nothing to do with the Blues losing. It was just, I had a lot going on, and I said, you know what, I need to take a break. We all agreed on it. We said, yeah, let's do that. I actually thought it was going to last longer, but I'm in a spot now where I think I can start doing the show again. So I'm not going to fully commit to every single week right now, but I will say you can expect a show pretty regularly from here on out. So happy to be back. And again, we're back all summer, so make sure you tune in. Already got a couple of awesome guests lined up, people that you've heard from before, some new people as well. And I'll say too, we got draft coming up. Normally we have Mike Morial of NHL.com come on. Mike had some very difficult scheduling conflicts this week, so we just couldn't make anything work. But I do think I will get him on at some point after the draft and see what he thinks of the Blues' 3 picks. Well, currently, as it stands, have 3 picks in the draft. We'll see if that remains to be seen. We also want to welcome back our friend Mike Burgoyne of Mike at strikewithmike.com. Also, you can actually go to his site, which is up now, strikewithmike.com, if you would like some realty assistance. He is a licensed real estate broker. We love you, Mike. Happy to have you back. And Bill, you might get to play with Mike because he has also joined the force this summer.
Oh,
so
very, very nice.
Yes,
I look forward to blowing out a knee or dying or something at some point this summer.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not. But
two pretty far apart points on the spectrum: blowing out a knee or dying.
No, not my world.
Are those your only 2 options?
No. Just thinking about the movement, and that is right now a little daunting. But hopefully Cortland's got it nailed down for at least a couple of weeks, and
he should.
Yeah, so I'm still working off the I stayed in shape until the beginning of March, and then I got sick, and I packed on like 25 pounds in 2 weeks. Felt like I just I ballooned. Right, I'm old now, right? So lack of activity. I just I
water weight, Bill.
Yeah, I wish it was water weight. It was whiskey and chips and all kinds of stuff. So I'm in the process of running that off now, and it's I'm gonna get up in the morning and go for a run in this damn heat. So
speaking of running,
have you heard of the 12? Hang on, I gotta look up the name of the challenge. Go ahead, Kurt. What were you gonna say?
Speaking of running, my daughter and I are running the Macklin Mile in St. Louis on Saturday. So she insisted on signing up for it, and I was like, okay, we'll spend $40 a piece to run a mile.
I can do that. I do that every time I go out for a run. That's kind of the farthest I can go without having to stop. But I stopped shortly thereafter.
The Macklin Mile is it's mostly downhill, so people like to run it and get their PRs, for a mile. So I've done it before. I did it once before with Amy, and it was it was fun. So, and there's like after every race, there's a gathering tents and stuff
Mick
to hang
Ultra.
out. Yeah, Mick Ultras. Yeah, I'll play for those Ultras.
Yep.
So yeah, it'll be fun. And my daughter was in track at Triad High School this last year, so she's enjoying running. So and she wanted to do something like that. And we're also doing a 5K at Eckert's in Belleville in the fall. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Amy asks, "Have you been training for that mile, Kurt?"
You don't train for a mile. I can accidentally run a mile.
You
Not a
should you should really push yourself to train for it, because it'd be fun to you could be like, look, honey, I ran it in 3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes. Yeah, I set a world record by 30 seconds. My time when I ran it the first time, I didn't train for it, was 7 minutes and 22 seconds. So that's pretty
good.
That was for a mile. I thought that was fantastic for me. So
the only time I've ever did just a mile was in high school, and I did it in 6:55, which I was pretty happy with.
So I got to be at 6:55 tomorrow.
Do it. I'm daring you. Bill, what I was going to ask you about,
that will not happen.
The 12-3-30. Have you heard of that trend?
I have not.
So it's a treadmill trend, and apparently it really helps you burn calories very quickly. So apparently, I don't know if it's every day. You need to look it up, but it's a 12% incline at 3 miles speed for 30 minutes.
Okay.
And apparently, people are claiming that they do that, and within weeks, they're dropping a ton of weight.
So the incline is what does it, because 3 is not very fast, right? But it's
right.
But the incline is Yeah, that's
12. And I'm
I have mine set on 2 incline. Just
and I'm
slight incline.
Well, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, I wonder if my treadmills at the gym, the gym I go to, if they even go to 12%.
That's
pretty high.
That seems very, very steep.
30
minutes.
That is right. The hills in my neighborhood are 9%. So yeah, 12%, my car might not make it up.
So I think
so. My body definitely not.
Yeah.
I've seen people are
3 miles per hour is a brisk
that's a brisk walk.
It's a quick walk. Yeah. So
I've seen people do variations of it too. So they're like, I was doing 8% at 3.5 miles for 40 minutes. So if it's something you're interested in, just look it up. It's called the 12-3-30.
So you're talking basically incline is what we're doing. That's what gets you.
Yep. Yeah. Major incline for 30 minutes.
Well, maybe I'll try that maybe tomorrow the day before the Macklin Mile. I'll do an incline. I'll do the opposite of the race, because the Macklin Mile is probably a 5% decline. So maybe I'll do the incline and then just get it's like swinging 2 bats right before you go to the plate.
Yeah.
There you go.
That is a great analogy.
Trees says, next tip, wear weighted clothes to increase training effectiveness like it's Dragon Ball Z. That is not a show I am familiar with. Well, so I will take your word for it.
I'm aware of the show, but it's one of those things I never got into.
Mm-hmm. Same here. That's what I meant. I know what Dragon Ball Z is. I've just never gotten into it.
Yeah. I am not of that generation. Yeah, it's not my generation.
Not my generation. All right, guys, let's take a break. You are listening to Kurt, Bill, and Jeff, and when we get back, we will talk about the Big Blues rebrand, which everyone knows us as the Crazy Jersey guys. So, of course, we've got heavy opinions here to discuss the Blues rebrand. So we will talk about that on the next rebrand break. Yeah, says the guy wearing the new gear.
Get your opinions ready.
As well, we've got Jordan Kyrou news. We've got talks of the offseason coming up, draft, free agency, all that. Stick with us. We will be right back.
We'll return after these messages.
As a hockey player, Mike Burgoyne knows a thing or two about making the perfect play. And when it comes to real estate, he's always ready to score the winning goal for his clients. If you're a first responder, a veteran, a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, or a Let's Go Blues radio listener looking to score the home of your dreams, you'll receive special rates with Mike. Go ahead, Shoot some questions his way, and he'll have the answer quicker than Curtis Joseph on a breakaway.
Curtis Joseph got the pedal down.
Any barriers? Mike will mow them down like Chris Pronger in front of the net. He'll score you your dream home or sell your existing home faster than a Brett Hall one-timer.
Flip past the Hall. He shoots. He scores.
See Burgoyne's real estate prowess in action today by emailing him at mike@strikewithmike.com or by calling 314-753-4060. That email again is mike@strikewithmike.com, and that phone number is 314-753-4060. Getting Mike Burgoyne on your team will be the boost your power play needs.
The battle for the top spot in the league is on the line. Many warriors have entered the concrete jungle, but when the smoke clears, only one will remain. They all want it, but only one shall have it. Hide your children. Lock your doors. Those with weak stomachs should almost certainly look away. This is Big Boy Pickleball. You have been warned.
Already know that you love hockey, and you obviously already love the Let's Go Blues Radio podcast, but what about filling the gap between weekly Let's Go Blues Radio episodes? That's where the LGB Minute comes in. Hosted by Jeff Ponder, the LGB Minute is an entertaining, down and dirty, 5-minute St. Louis Blues podcast released multiple times a week to keep you informed of all things St. Louis Blues. So make sure to subscribe to the LGB Minute anywhere you listen to podcasts, like right now. Do it now. Just click subscribe. It's easy. Please. Now.
And now, back to Let's Go Blues Radio, the longest running St. Louis Blues podcast with Price, Ponder, and Day.
As I said, Let's Go Blues Minute is down for the summer, but we'll be back in October. But go ahead and subscribe. That way, when I post the first episode, you will be instantly informed. So just go ahead and do it now.
Now.
Do
please.
it now. Please.
Now. Is Bill going to switch hats every so often during the show?
Oh, my Lord. I didn't
Wait, do we have another commercial?
We'll take another one just for you.
All right.
And we got a comment here from Winning Unlimited. He says, "Hi, just got back from the PWHL draft. Excuse me, Kristina Kaltunova.
I don't work here anymore.
Sorry. I know, Goldie, you know how to say this, but Kristina Kaltunkova is what I'm going to say. Was selected first overall, and the Sirens traded Ella Shelton for picks 3 and 27 after signing St. Louisan Jinsey Rose. Yes, congratulations to the Seattle, right? Yep. They signed Jinsey Rose, excellent defenseman. So hopefully we'll have another PWHL takeover, and hopefully we'll have Jinsey playing back here in St. Louis this year. That'd be awesome. Well, guys, the Blues have rebranded. I know Bill is. This is news to him. Bill, why don't you stand up and think about it for a second?
So did you get the same care package John Gruden did, Bill?
I did. Me and Gruden are buddies.
Did you guys see that? They gave him a whole box of stuff, and it was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny how he just happened to be back in St. Louis for a Cardinals game right when the Blues rebrand happened. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't planned.
Yeah. Let's be honest here. How authentic is the John Gruden St. Louis Blues and Cardinals fandom?
I don't know about it well enough to have an opinion, to be quite honest. Because I stay away from all things Barstool.
Wasn't he was a coach early in his career, Southeast Missouri State or something like that, or Southwest. I don't know, some smaller college in Missouri. So he does have some ties to Missouri. Vatterott. It's a technical college for those of you not in the area. Get your engineering degree there, right? But
I'm sure.
I guess I'm sure it's
HVAC engineering.
Yeah, there you go.
People that go there have the last laugh because they get a good education for fairly cheap, and it's very fine tuned and, it's focused, and they don't spend 4 years getting $150,000 in debt. So, but yeah, I don't know. You don't have to be a well-educated fan to be a big fan, right? I don't know. Well, I'm hearing him talk. It doesn't seem like he knows a lot about the Blues and the Cardinals necessarily. I don't think he knew who Adam Wainwright was.
Yeah, I mean, he's a football guy through.
Yeah,
and through,
I know. But I mean, and it could be a recent thing. It just kind of latched on to the Cardinals and Blues, but or it could be a thing with Barstool. Just to get some faux hype. But yeah, it's funny.
I mean, and it did get the Blues a little bit more on the map, like on the sports page in terms of Barstool too. So like, the Blues are very happy to be involved in it.
Oh yeah, I'm not knocking it. I was just curious. I'm just talking.
Well, sorry, Bill. Did you have a opinion on John Gruden?
No, I do not have an opinion on John Gruden.
All right, we will move on.
Podcast. We don't have opinions on a podcast.
So yeah, the Blues rebrand, which we are going to pull up images here in just a second. I know you've all seen it, but we'll go ahead and break it down a little bit more in depth from what we're seeing. So in the Blues rebrand, they did release something with it. This was a direct quote from the Blues website. The reborn Blue Note reclaims the raw energy of the franchise's earliest days, its bold curves now sharpened for a new era, but this is more than nostalgia. It's evolution. Woven. Whoa. John Woven. Woven into the brand are fresh marks that pulse with St. Louis pride, the relentless flow of the Mississippi, the wall of a blues riff, the unshakable grit of a city that thrives under pressure. We're not erasing history. We're remixing it. The past fuels the fire, but the future burns brighter. This is where heritage meets electricity, where the classic note learns new rhythms. The blues aren't changing. They're becoming. Remixed, remastered, reborn.
Man, if that's not the biggest marketing hype, oh my gosh!
I feel like that was ChatGPT.
It's a lot of exaggeration.
Yes, it is.
I mean, we can talk about the jerseys, the look, the logos, the alternate logos. I big fan. I love this look, and I think this. We talked about this, wanting the Blues to go this direction. With the Winter Classic, the original Winter Classic, and the second one, we wanted those to be the home and away. So I think we all did. And I think a lot of fans felt that way. They were kind of asking for it for years. But even though these jerseys lost in that contest they had, the voting contest, which one won? The Arch jersey won?
It was the Arch jersey.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. But
I'll say that I didn't exactly agree that I would want what they've turned them into. I didn't want those jerseys. Okay, let me try and phrase this properly. Maybe I should form thoughts before I talk. I don't want to say that I'm like, I was really pushing for them to change to these jerseys. I wasn't, because I liked the, I guess now old jerseys. I thought they were great. They flashed well on the ice. I just love the look. But having said that, I always kind of said, if they change it to that, I will not be upset. Now, having said that, now that they've done it, I love it. We're going to show you the white jerseys here in a minute, but for me, those white jerseys, those are the best away jerseys in the NHL. No question.
Yes. However, they should be the best home jerseys in the NHL.
Agree.
That's true.
The NHL needs to reverse this. What are we on? 30 years now?
Yeah.
That they switched it.
Yeah.
No, we got the taste of it with the off-white, with the two Winter Classic off-white jerseys that they had, and it just left us all to wonder how sharp would they look in complete white, and now we get it, and it is beautiful.
I agree with you, Jeff. I did like the Blues now previous jerseys a lot. They were great jerseys, but I personally like these better. And so when I would see the Blues wearing the throwbacks, right, the Winter Classics, basically, the past couple of years on the ice, I was like, man, I love these jerseys. I wish they would wear them all the time, because I think they're the best. I think the blue ones were the best jerseys in the NHL by far. Yeah, and I'm ecstatic. I know one of the complaints about the jerseys from fans, which I saw a lot of negative feedback on social media about these jerseys, and that boggles my mind. And
Let's get to that in a minute. Let's talk more about what we like, and also, folks, a lot of you were mentioning in the chat your thoughts. Please keep that coming. We'll go over a lot of what you guys think as well. But yeah, I just want to say that it was kind of leaked a couple months ago. I think like toward in the playoffs, we're getting ready to start.
The logo, right?
Yeah. There was a logo that was leaked, and it was just kind of like, that's the old school logo. So to me, I was like, I'm going to like the jerseys they pick, because they're probably going to go to throwback to the 60s and 70s. And, when there were some people speculating, oh, is this going to be, something that they bring back some red, or are they going to do something completely new? I was like, no, we've seen the logo. It's not going to happen. If they did, it would be so off base from what that original logo is. So I knew that wasn't going to be an issue, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when these were released. I thought, man, these look phenomenal. And I've got a couple more images here we'll show, but I'm going to go ahead and start pulling up the actual full jerseys here. So that is the new home jersey there, the blue with the large yellow stripe with the white around it. Basically the Winter Classic jersey. And I love it. I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I on board. And the new alternate logos that showing on the pant there, that's pretty slick, pretty cool. Brand new. That's not a vintage logo brought back. That's a brand new look for an alternate, which I like.
Yeah. All three of the alternate logos just knock out of the park.
Yeah. My favorite is the fleur-de-lis, that one. I like that one the best of the alternates.
Yeah, that may be my next tattoo. Yep. I was debating, because I want to get a fleur-de-lis, and I'm like, man, I just can't decide on something. But then when it's like, associated with the Blues, I'm like, damn it, that's probably going to be it.
Yeah, I said that in our Slack chat, that if the Blues win the cup, when these jerseys are their thing, I will break my tattoo cherry and do the fleur-de-lis and the one I've got.
Ooh, you want to get matching tattoos, Bill?
No.
We can get them on. I can get them on my right butt cheek. You can get them on your left butt cheek, and then we can go out into saunas and drop trow and show people. It'll be great.
This color. So the throwback color of the. I think, and I've always thought when they've worn this on TV, it looks better on TV than the darker navy blue.
Yes,
it works better on the ice. That darker blue. Now the darker blue is great, but when you compare the two on TV, that blue pops more on the ice than that navy blue does.
Yep. And I've said this before about those Jets jerseys that we made fun of with the Jets written in cursive across the front, the baby blue. Yeah. I hated those jerseys. And then I saw him play a game of them on TV, and I'm like, God damn it, those look awesome on TV.
I like the color.
The same with these.
I think I said at the time I like the colors. I wasn't a fan of the logo. But yeah,
Well, in that was the same blue that the Thrashers used, right? And you loved the Thrashers jersey.
Yeah, right? But I didn't even really associate those two things. I just thought, I was like, man, that's an ugly jersey. And then I saw it. I'm like, beautiful, beautiful stuff on the ice. Now jerseys, it's so funny how jerseys can look different.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When they've got the white backdrop of the ice.
And now the jerseys that the Blues have worn for the previous so many years, they will become an alternate jersey this year.
Yep.
So they are going to still wear them occasionally, along with the fucking clown jersey.
Clowns.
Yep.
Is that official?
Yep.
I hadn't seen that.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
They're still going to
I was
wear
hoping
it
these would be
times.
the new. I was hoping these would be the new clowns. They'd be like, yeah, we'll go back to these instead of the clowns.
No, apparently they're going to wear them a couple times this year.
Well, once or twice a year, I'm okay with.
I don't mind that. That's fine. Whatever. You
Yeah.
know, it's. I do kind of enjoy seeing the numbers on the ice and thinking, oh, that's Craig Conroy.
Yeah. Yep.
Or whatever. You know, it's like, oh, that's Demetra. So
I will say I was in Blue Dot Authentics today, and they had a white Gretzky and a white Hull from that era, and they do look sharp.
The white was much better than the
white was better than the blue.
Yeah,
100%
for sure.
But yeah, it's I don't know.
Still have those stupid slanted numbers though.
Right.
I've got two of the clown jerseys, a white and a blue. But the first jersey I ever bought was the white one, and my uncle for my birthday bought me the blue one, and so I still to this day say I never truly bought the blue clown jersey. So you were looking at here the current what was the current jersey is now the third jersey, which I think is totally cool. I love they're still going to go back to this. And the the white numbers, I said this before, when they switched to the white numbers, people were upset. Like, where's the yellow? Where's the yellow numbers? On this jersey, I think the white numbers look better with the yellow trim around them. Not a fan?
I don't hate the white numbers, but I did prefer the yellow. So, I mean, obviously white, I don't know. Maybe it's because of what I was used to. Maybe it's because I enjoyed the blue and gold look on the back, but yeah, I mean, I didn't hate the white numbers. Initially I thought, oh, I like that, but then I was like, after a while, I'm like, I want the yellow back, you know. So,
well, here we're showing again what I think is my new favorite Blues jersey, the white. So the away, which Bill said is right as should be home, looks awesome. Looks absolutely awesome.
Yep.
The new logo the new old logo, I guess.
Parayko could be posing a little better. He's just standing there.
Yeah, he's like, I wear a jersey.
It looks like they told him something specific and he's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
We need you to pose like the thinker. Who?
Yeah.
No, I think this is a great look. I mean, not just the jersey and the logo, but the pants, the socks, the gloves, even. I mean, everything looks just slick.
And it's that vintage vibe, right? Which is just so cool.
Yeah,
love it.
Yep. So let's get to some of the comments here, which I think will bring up some things that I know we all want to talk about. So we've got Justin Scott. Welcome to the chat, buddy. He says, hey, fellas, I hope y'all are doing well. I want to stay around, but got work early. I love the new jerseys, and I figured they would go in the light blue direction for homes, and the aways are clean as fuck. And then he's got the fire. Ken Morris says, I like it too. Waterbug. You know what, Waterbug? We're going to get to your comment in a minute because I think that's something we do want to talk about. And then Matt says, they always look awesome.
The aways look awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry. The aways look awesome. Yes, agree. Joe Schmo, I like the new, would have preferred cream to stark white. Now, real quick, I did want to comment on that too. Somebody said on Twitter, and I don't know if there's any basis to this at all, but somebody brought up that the NHL might have had a say in that and said, no, you have to have like a pure white as
jersey.
Your away jersey.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's true, but that might be part of the reasoning. I don't know. I guess you guys have no idea.
Nobody else has a cream jersey. They're all white and then a color.
Yeah, right. And that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, so that you would think if they could have something else besides white, like a cream, they would. Someone would have done it, but that has not happened. So that it leads me to believe that the NHL does require a white jersey. So
Trees in the chat. I think you get comment of the show here, buddy. Talking about the way Pareko looks. He's trying to get the daily Wordle, but is stuck on the last 2 letters.
he only has one guess left.
I hate that. I look like that too when that happens. And then we've got Joe Schmo also says, no red, not even trim or piping. I think we all agree with that.
Yeah.
The STL mark on the pants is awesome from Matt MLO 12. I agree. Ken Morris tells us the Blues missed the boat. They should have had the gents from Let's Go Blues Radio modeling the new garb. I agree. We're clearly the sexiest people in blues new media, so that would make sense.
Yeah, we do. We could do a runway.
Yeah, just blues, send us some stuff. We'll do it for you. Sounds good. And then so let's go back to what Waterbug mentioned. He says, I like everything about it except the numbers. So for those that maybe didn't notice or haven't paid attention, there is no striping on the letters. It is just pure on the white. It is on the white jersey, it's pure blue. On the on the home jersey, it is pure yellow. And then the third has not changed.
Do you have
on the
image of that?
Image of what?
The numbers.
I mean, probably. Close up. Let me see. This is directly from the Blues site. Doesn't look like it. That's kind of annoying. But you can see it here. I mean, you see the A on Pareko. It is pure blue, and
the 5 on the fives.
Yep. Yeah, and then same here. You kind of see the A there on the home jersey that's yellow. I will say this. I don't hate it. I know a lot of people hate it. Kurt, I want to get your opinion. You're more the graphics guy than me. I will always say this with a lot of things with the Blues. I'm going to reserve judgment until I see them on the ice. The way they look on the ice to me is what's important. So if they pop on the ice, I'm not going to have a problem with it. If they don't, I might be like, a little bit of striping might have been nice.
I don't understand the people that dislike the numbers. And everyone has the right to their opinion. If you can dislike something, whatever. But some of the people, almost everyone that has disliked the numbers, it's like the Blues are the only team that has no striping on the numbers. When there's like half a dozen teams that do that. Dallas does it. Vancouver does it. Detroit does it. Yeah, it's like there's a bunch of them. So I mean, the Blues aren't the only team without stripes on the numbers. And how do I think they look? I think the numbers on the jerseys look fine. Would I prefer stripes on the numbers? Probably. But I don't think they look bad at all the way they are. To me, it's like, it's like the jerseys, to some degree, like last year, I liked the Blues jerseys last year, but I like these better. I might like striping on the numbers better, but I think these look fine. These don't look terrible. Some people, these people like, I'm not buying a jersey because there's no stripes on the numbers. Oh, that ruins the jersey for me. It's like what I shared some stuff with you. It's like was this about the
compilation? Yeah, the compilation of all the jerseys with the different number styles.
Yeah,
and like you said, there are a ton that have no kinds of highlighting or striping.
I think there's like half a dozen. I think that's about what it is. It's so 1 in 5 teams or so, 1 in 6 teams have numbers with no stripes on them. That kind of puzzles me that like, this is not new to the NHL. This has been done. So,
right. And what I was saying to you guys when they were dropping this, the numbers are the
Toronto does it.
Yeah. Toronto, Detroit,
Vancouver, Dallas.
I think I have the PK Subban Montreal Winter Classic jersey that was just red on white. It looks beautiful, right? But numbers are probably the easiest numbers, and the captain's A's and C's, probably the easiest element of a jersey that you can change season by season. So it's not like we're stuck with this through the entirety of the jersey. They can change it.
Yeah, and the no striping on the nameplate and no striping on the A and C, I like, because those are smaller, and I think when you stripe a name, or a small A or C, I think that kind of makes it a little busy for those smaller letters. And I think smaller, when it's smaller, is better against a jersey. Now the numbers, obviously, I mean, you can stripe them; they look great. But yeah,
go back to the Rich Rod Sutter era. I think there were 3 colors.
Yes,
Rich and Rod Sutter.
Yep. There was a lot of I didn't like, and I remember, yeah. So I didn't like. I actually didn't like the striping on the names and the letters when they did it in that era. So
sorry about all the scrolling. I'm trying to find a picture of the numbers, but apparently it's not on the Blues' rebrand site, which is really silly.
But you did make a good point, Bill, that they could always add stripes to the numbers down the road at some point. That's a minor change to a jersey that you see teams make, like the Blues changed the numbers to white, a couple years ago. So that kind of thing can change if they feel it's necessary, but I don't. I think it looks more vintage without the stripes. I think it looks it's a simpler design, I think. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that I think it looks good.
Here we go. Let me
he got the Wordle.
yeah, there he got the Wordle. Yeah, you can kind of see it there with the A. I'm gonna let it play. I don't know if we can.
Yeah. See, again, I think that A with no stripes on the white looks sharp. I think it looks simple and it's good. I think some teams can just try and do too much with that A or C and with stripes, and it kind of just looks busy. It stands out too much. So I like it.
Yeah, you can kind of see the other jersey there he's got hanging up. Yeah, I don't mind it. Like I said, for me, I'm reserving judgment until we, see him on the ice. But for me, it's not a deal breaker. It's like, okay, that was a choice. That's fine. Like, it's not going to bother me. Like you said, there's plenty of teams that don't have the striping. Right. And for the Blues, yes, they've typically done the stripes, but
this is the first time they haven't. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll say, like, some people I saw someone say, I don't remember where it was, but somebody said something like, the first thing I noticed is the numbers, and it is not a good look. And I'm like, that's the first thing you noticed? Like, these things are sick as hell. And the first thing you noticed was the numbers? No way. This is a good looking jersey. And guess what? If you don't like it, just buy a blank jersey then. You don't have to put numbers on your jersey.
It's not like they put slanted numbers on the back and like the Clowns, and all of a sudden it's this immaculate looking jersey with these stupid slanted looking numbers that are out of place, and like that would ruin the jersey. But no stripes on the numbers. I mean, it does it look as good as stripes? Maybe not. But it still looks good. It's not like it's terrible, which is what the vibe a lot of people are giving. They, social media, people overreact and
right. And I think that's just it, right? It's people, it's probably not the first thing that they notice. It's the first thing that they found to criticize. Right. And so they just latch on that, and that's where they go to.
It's like some of the comments that I saw, and it's, it's always the negative, the stupid ones that stand out because they're so absurd. I'm a Blues fan and I can't tell the difference between the logo he's talking about. I'm like, you can't tell the difference between this logo and the one last year. It's still a Blue Note, but it's obviously different. Somebody else says, if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known. Is the new jersey in the room with us? Should have went with the old jerseys with the red on them. That was one.
Oh.
It's seriously the most subtle change. Don't really think you can call the same logo with some added spit and polish a new logo, LMFAO. And so wait, outlining the yellow brighter makes it new. I get it. I appreciate the note with the whole Blues montage. They're going for still no difference. Good job, graphic designer. People are stupid.
So I will say, and I hope she's not listening. A good friend of mine that I've known since high school. She's a big Blues fan. She actually, I didn't even know this. She apparently got married at a Blues game, which I was like, that's badass. But my wife would have never done that. She had been messaging me for a couple days. It was like, are you excited about the rebrand? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And so the morning of, I was like, so what do you think? And she shot me a message back and said, what changed?
Yeah.
And I'm like, is she fucking with me? And I'm like, well, and like, as I'm like trying to think of a good response, she sends another message and she's like, oh, okay, I see the difference now. I thought it was just the logo. So I was looking just the logo and that hasn't changed. And I'm like, actually it has.
Yeah.
Like,
and you know, and I think that kind of tips you off maybe at someone's level of fandom, which I'm not knocking people for maybe not being as diehard as others, but I think, you know, people pay attention at some level more than others as far as what the logo looks like and what the jersey looks like. So, and I think people have seen this jersey before. That's why they're maybe wondering what's changed. And if you're a jersey snob, or if you pay attention to the blues in detail, like many people do, then the changes are obvious.
Yeah. I mean, for us, we've had how many shows that we've dedicated to jerseys and ranking jerseys and, you know, picking apart jerseys. It's part of our DNA, I think. You know, obviously we're watching every game. Yep. Maybe some of these people that are, and I think you posted that was that Spittin' Chicklets that you posted that from, right?
Oh, it might have been.
All the dumb comments.
Somewhere from Facebook, somewhere from Spittin', somewhere from Barstool, I think, maybe.
Yeah, so might be people that are only seeing the Blues playing Winter Classics. So maybe. Who knows?
You know, and one last one I'll read. Was upset about the color. Someone needs to be fired. Light blue is too wimpy. Numbers look like tape placed on there. Nothing manly about these colors. Love the STL logo, but once again, the colors suck. And I'm like, I don't know.
We're the Blues.
Yeah.
Any color blue on our jerseys, I think, has always looked good.
Well, they're insinuating it has to be dark blue to be manly. The lighter blue is wimpy. I'm like, all right, man. You want to go look at the era of hockey when the Blues wore this color originally? They were a badass hockey team that the Broad Street Bullies modeled themselves after.
Right.
So they kicked.
Yeah, and let's just say too, like, nobody's intimidated by a jersey. You know, there's no team that's like, have you guys seen the Blues jerseys? Oh my God, I'm gonna hate playing them. No, what other teams are intimidated by is the building, the counting of the goals, like. That's where it matters for intimidation. Nobody's fucking looking at a jersey and being like, "Oh my God, I'm terrified."
And some people did. I saw a lot of comments saying, "Gosh, I loved these jerseys as an alternate, but I don't like them as the everyday." Which I don't quite understand that, because if you like the jersey, you like the jersey. Why does it matter? You know, why would, if you like it, why would you only want to wear it a few times? Why wouldn't you want them to wear it if you like it? I don't know. All the time. That's weird to me.
Joe Schmo, secure enough in my manhood to wear baby blue. Yes, me too. Hey, I look great in pink. I will gladly admit that. Yeah, there was something else I was going to want to say about this, but Joe Schmo mentioned also that the new home unis has all blue gloves. And you know, he just bought a pair of Sherwoods in the blue and yellow. Now they go with nothing. Yeah, so that's part of the reason, Bill, I did not go to the store, go to the Blues store before this show, because I just spent a boatload of money at the Blues sale, which you guys know. I sent you pictures. Yeah, I got a new pair of gloves. I got the True gloves that were Matthew Joseph's. I got another Ryan Suter stick because I got one of his before, and they're fantastic. And I a couple other things. I got some of the cream socks, new pair of pants. They were Texier's pants. So I bought a bunch of stuff, which I'll tell you, as a hockey player, if you have not done that, and I hate to kind of give away my trade secret here, going to that Blues summer sale is phenomenal, because for me, it's like the gloves that I got Matthew Joseph's, they were $100. Those True gloves alone, if not even player worn, which, by the way, he wore them once. They were worn in practice one time at the Winter Classic. They were $100. Typically, those gloves are $300. Ryan Suter stick, $75. Those sticks alone are typically $350. So it's like, okay, they're player sticks that weren't worn or weren't used. Like, I'm saving a shit ton of money on good gear. So anyway, that's beside the point.
No, that's a great point. You helped me acquire the Jordan Bennington pads, right?
Yep.
I've been stocking some on Sideline Swap for $400 more than what I wound up paying. Like it was a 50% increase over what I wound up paying, right?
Yep.
So it's pretty awesome.
So yeah, that's the only reason, because I'm like, I just blew over $400 at the Blues sale. So I'm like, yeah, I probably don't need to be going and buying a $200 jersey right away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna wait until the season comes around before getting the jersey. But yeah, there was some depression-based impulse buying on my part today, so it all works out.
I've been there. All right, anything else on Rebrand? Because we got a couple other things I want to touch on.
No, I'm no.
Overall, I think we're all very happy.
I mean, the one of the alternate logos, the trumpet, it incorporates. I do mention that the arch and the river lines. So
yeah, let me pull that up. Yeah, they got some. Well, I already stopped screen sharing.
So there's the Bill's wearing the hat. There you go.
Yeah, I had to go to the other hat. This one I still have the sticker on. Yeah. But wait, I can do it. So here we go.
There we go.
That is the STL script.
Yep. The STL mark is a bold treble clef inspired design that harmonizes St. Louis's and the Blues' musical roots. So there you go. Very nice.
That is the one thing I loved, the Jim Montgomery promo video for tying it together with the musical history.
He is clearly a big music guy, right?
Oh,
he has to.
Oh, yes. Oh, 100%.
There's the floor, and the fleur-de-lis is a primary St. Louis icon featured on our city's flag. The floor mark infuses flourishes of a treble clef footed by a note head. Easy for me to say.
I think that one, from a design perspective, that's my favorite, and I think that is the most brilliant of the three. That is well done, super well done, super well,
very well done. Yes. And then the thing on Bill's head, the river music, the iconic Gateway Arch reflecting in the mighty Mississippi, come together to form a trumpet that pays tribute to the historic music scene of downtown St. Louis. Love these marks. I think they're all very cool. We'll see how else they implement them, but we've already seen the STL mark on the pants. I think we'll see. You can't see the shoulders, so I'm wondering if the other two might be patches. But either way, we will. Yeah, helmet stickers maybe. We will see those, I'm sure, incorporated in other ways as well.
The one thing I did notice about the fleur-de-lis, though, is I'm waiting for somebody when the Blues get eliminated from the playoffs or get bounced, that the bottom part of it can be turned into a golf club quite easily.
Yes.
Oh, God, you're right.
Yes.
Don't give me any ideas.
Probably some teardrops, too.
Yeah. But,
Michael Jordan's face will be on there soon enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move into some NHL finalizing their new CBA talk, which is, hey, however you look at it, even if you don't like some of these new things that's going to be implemented, great news, because that means no more work stoppages.
Two CBAs in a row without a work stoppage.
The NHL and the NHLPA have been very good about not letting these work stoppages happen anymore. So hopefully that is a trend that will continue to the future. So the new CBA that is, I don't think it's officially been signed yet, but it is believed that will be happening very soon. They are going to up it from 82 games to 84 games in the regular season, and that will not start next season. That'll be the season after.
I think you're going to have to be pissed about that.
They're going to shorten the preseason to 4 games. Players over 100 games played can play in at least 2 games. So basically, instead of, I think right now it's 3 with 6 games.
A max of 2 games if they want.
Yeah, so now they have to play a max of 2 games. So, a lot of people upset about that. What do you guys think?
They can play a max of 2 games.
Yeah.
if they want.
Yeah. I mean, I think that at the end of the day, it might come down to pushing, some of those, it'll affect prospects more than NHL players, right? Because they're going to have less opportunity to play, but it's also going to affect these non-NHL market cities from being able to host. I don't like that part about it, but overall, as a guy living in a NHL city, it does get so hard to get up for preseason games. So I think I personally am okay with it. I don't like the overall effect on little guy.
You know what would be really cool is if in this ruling, and they won't do this because it would be too much work to get it done, those 2 extra games that every team plays is at a neutral site. That'd be pretty cool. So every single team would play 2 off-site games.
I don't know if you would get the owners to agree to that because they would lose.
I know. I don't think so. I don't think the PA would want to do it either. But I think that would be really cool for the fans.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the local team, it could work out, right? Because I think they do use the preseason games to train new staff and new vendors and new grillers and all those kinds of people. So you guarantee at least one home game in your own barn for that. I don't know. I still feel like the owners are going to say that's not enough. We need 2 home games, even though it's probably a loss leader more than anything else.
They didn't mention anything about more divisional games, which if you're increasing the schedule, I think that's a good opportunity to try and work in more games against your division. But
so what is it now? They play 4 games.
3 or 4.
Well, I'm saying it's 4 against like half your division and then 3 against the other half.
Yeah.
So hopefully the other half, the 3-game teams that you play against, hopefully that ups to 4 for 2 of
Yeah,
those
I mean, hope at least. I mean, I'm greedy. I want 6 against each divisional opponent, but
100%.
3 home, 3 away. That's I don't know why. I think they're royally fucking up by not having more divisions.
The thing that, and I know I've said this before, the thing that boggles my mind is their big push for divisional playoffs, yet you don't play your divisional teams that much in regular season.
Right.
Yeah. What's the point?
Yeah, if you want divisional playoffs, you need to establish the hierarchy of your division, and by more division games helps you do that more accurately.
Well, that's something Bettman always says whenever they ask him about that, is he says, well, we do the divisional playoffs because we want to build rivalries. And I'm like, you want to build rivalries, have them face each other more.
Yeah. You want to talk about rivalries. The Blues and Blackhawks played 6, 7, 8 times during the regular season back in the day. Whatever it was. And that's how you get a right. And then that carries over in the playoffs when they face each other. And then boom, that's how it explodes.
Right.
It's hard to, I mean, I don't have as big of a problem with Bettman as a lot of people, but this is mind-bogglingly stupid why they're doing it this way.
I agree. Maximum player which this one surprises me that the PA agreed to, but I'm guessing the NHL is making a lot of other concessions that we'll learn about over time. Maximum player contract length has shortened to 7 years, and then 6 years for free agents. So those who maybe not in the know right now, to re-sign a player, you can sign him as long as he's on your roster before July 1st. You can re-sign him to 8 years. Once they hit free agency, sign with their team, they can only sign for 7 years max. So they're talking about shortening that for a year. So re-signing players, 7 years, new players off free agency, 6 years. Surprising that the PA would be okay with that, but because I think they fought the 8 and 7 year too. So to hear that they're shortening it even more is kind of surprising. Sorry, any thoughts?
I was say I think it makes sense because that's where you see most of the I don't want to call it fraud, but most of the exploitation of the rules is in contract length, and it always has been. Hello, Marian Hossa, Jonathan Taves, Rick DiPietro,
loaded back in. But they tried to do away with that with you couldn't have back like extreme differences in yearly salaries. You couldn't backload a contract. They got rid of that, like last CBA. But so I agree with you though. The shorter the contract, the less you can do that.
Yeah.
So.
New comprehensive playoff salary cap system closing the LTIR loophole. I think most fans, even fans of teams that have seen their team succeed because of this, I think a lot of fans are going to be happy with this. They're not disclosing exactly what it is, but from what I've heard, it's basically game to game in the playoffs. You have to be cap compliant. So, if the cap's at, what is it right now, 80 million? Let's just, for argument's sake, say 80 million. Your team that you're putting on the ice for each playoff game has to be at 80 million or below. They can't be over that, which will allow you to still carry a team that's over the salary cap, but players playing in those games would be under the salary cap. And I'm okay with that. I think that's the right way to go.
So, and this is the NHL admitting that Tampa Bay was exploiting. It's something they shouldn't have been doing. They shouldn't have been allowed to do that. So they're fixing that. So all the Lightning fans and other teams have done that too. And
Chicago did it.
So all these fans, there's nothing wrong with it. You can do it. Like, no, see, the NHL agrees. It's like, nah, that shouldn't have been the case. We're fixing it now. So,
really, this should be called closing the Kucherov loophole.
Yes,
because that's the most memorable.
Vegas.
Vegas did it. There was a big one.
Yep.
I will say, man, I actually, side note, I was actually offended for Panthers fans. I've seen a lot of like Lightning fans posting memes that are like, oh, look, the little brother is trying to do what the big brother did, with them like winning the cup back to back. And I'm like, okay, Florida did this in non-COVID years, did this in non-divisional playoff years, the weird 2021 year we had. Also, I don't believe, I could be wrong, I don't believe they've been over the cap the last 2 years. Like Tampa, I'm sorry, Florida did it better. Like South Florida is beating you at your own game. So, Austin Lynch, Vegas with Mark Stone, Joe Schmo, Vegas, Mark Stone. Yeah, Mark Stone's the one that's mostly known for it. But like Bill said, it's the Kucherov rule. That one was really bad because he makes a shit ton of money, and to have him on LTIR was insane.
Weren't they like 16 million over or something?
Oh, it was astronomical. It was crazy,
absurd. Yeah.
Draft pick signing rights to universally expire at age 22, regardless of league. So I think right now is it at 21 now? And they've extended it to 22. I can't remember. Deferred salary is now banned, so you cannot defer salary, which Shohei Ohtani, I'm sure, is very happy that he is not playing in the NHL. Significant increase to Stanley Cup playoff bonus pool fund, so nearly double. So those don't know, when you win the cup, you do get a bonus if you're on the roster. So they're apparently expanding that. So we will see how much that is.
So I mean, not that most players need the extra money, but Florida's got to win it a third time now to get that double bonus.
Yeah, actually, it'd be fourth because next year this all doesn't go into effect next year.
You're right.
So they got a four-peat,
or just skip a year, right? But yeah,
just skip a year. Why not? Yeah, we don't need to win next year, guys. Let's go for the double bonus.
Save it.
Establishment of full-time e-bug position within teams, which I found interesting. Bill, Bill's putting his arms up. He's excited. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. That literally what they're going to do is they're going to have a full-time e-bug who's going to travel with the team and just always be there. So it's kind of like, your trainers, your on ice, not on off ice personnel. Like, this is going to be a guy who just travels with the team, fills in practice when they need it. And so it's like a literal paid position. I am very interested to see how much these guys are going to be paid.
Are you sure that that's how it works, or that the e-bugs that are in each city are salaried employees now?
I'm seeing that they will be traveling with the team.
Okay. All right.
Bill, did you see the same, or do you know?
I haven't seen the details of this, but I don't know. Anytime we can, as long as it promotes the possibility of a beer league goalie playing in the NHL, I'm there for it.
I would imagine that they would have something higher level than that if they do this, because a beer league goalie has a day job and he's going to quit his day job to be an e-bug in the NHL. I mean, I wonder what they get paid.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is these e-bugs are now going to be quitting their full-time jobs? I would imagine.
Well, I can't imagine they get paid that much.
If they're if what I said is true, they're going to be traveling with the team. Yeah. They've got to be paid well. They've got to be paid upwards of 80,000-90,000 at least.
I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. I'm gonna say it's low. I'm gonna say it's under that just because they just started doing it. I'm gonna say it's like 40 grand.
No way.
A travel team? No.
They're paying for hotels, meals. They're paying for travel. They're paying for everything.
I think it's got to be more than that. Now, if what you said is true, it's just full-time employees of the home team. Okay, that's a little different. But in terms, if it is travel, which is what I've seen, it's got to be more than that.
Yeah, but they're not paying for the travel. The team is. The team's paying for travel, lodging, food. They probably get a stipend. Yeah, because they're probably not going to ever play in a game. So.
So we'll possibly revisit this later this summer. If this winds up being part of the CBA, I guarantee it'll be covered on goalie Twitter and goalie podcasts. I bet friend of the show Kevin Woodley and In Goal Media will have a lot of stuff about it, and we can dive into it and talk about it some more.
Joe Schmo asks, what the F is an e-bug? That is an emergency backup goalie.
Which you've seen a couple of times happen in the past handful of years.
Yes. Yep. David Ayers, the most prominent.
Yeah, who beat Toronto.
Zamboni driver for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who beat the Maple Leafs in their own barn for the Carolina Hurricanes. Got invited to Carolina to do the siren, right?
Joe Schmo fingered it out.
Nice. And then let's see. So who are the others? Scott Foster, former Western Michigan guy.
Yep.
Played for the Hawks.
Yep.
And then the one before that was Brett Leinhart for Washington. He didn't get in a game, but he sat on the bench.
I'm drawing a blank on the Blues e-bug for a while. What's his name?
Daddy Padre.
He dressed, but he didn't get. He got dressed and was ready to go in, but he didn't have to.
Right? Yeah, for Dallas, wasn't it? The guy for the part of the Obi Clark family, right?
Okay.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Jorge Alves in 2016, Scott Foster 2018, David Ayers 2020, Thomas Hodges 2022, Matt Berlin in 2023, and then Jet Alexander in 2023 as well.
Yeah,
that's all the eBays who have seen time.
And that's
eBay.
It's
eBugs.
eBays. It's kind of funny how there was a handful in the last 5 years or so, 10 years, but before that you didn't see them get into a game.
No more team mandatory game day dress codes for players. I actually forgot that's still a thing. That is to me very archaic, very Lou Amarillo of the league to still have that involved. So you're seeing that's a big thing in sports now. Like you'll see everyone's pre-dress, you see the NFL players walking in, even the PWHL has been doing that a lot, showing the players walking in what they're wearing. So, I don't care about any of the social aspect of the game itself, but for younger fans, I think this is a good call to have a guys coming in wearing. I remember when my teams had to do that when I was a kid. Bill, I don't know if you ever had to, but walking in wearing a damn suit, come on, who fucking cares?
Yeah. So I will say I predict that this will be revisited buy the next CBA because somebody's going to do something really stupid, and there are still
wear a political shirt or something, or
there are enough Lou Lamarillos in the world that they're going to get rankled. Brian Burke still somewhere around here. Colin Campbell still alive. These guys are going to get butthurt by something somebody does, and this will get revisited. But I think right now the NHL's got a lot of positive press from all the coverage. Think of the Leafs when they're walking in. Austin Matthews and his leisure seems to have a leisure suit collection. But William Nylander is pretty sharp, and Pasternak in Boston, he's pretty sharp.
Yep.
They're getting a ton of great press from this. Shoresy, has had a couple of things about that in that brilliant show. I think it's just a timely thing, and I think it will get revisited in the future after somebody does something really dumb.
Yeah, and I'll say I think the Johnny Gaudreau stuff we saw this year, there was a lot of apparently he always came in wearing a holding a water bottle and I don't know, something else, wearing a hat or something.
He always had a toucan.
That's what it was. Yeah. And the Blue Jackets I think that kind of stuff is insanely cool. So I kind of hope we see stuff like that too. And then the Blues doing the beach vibes for the 2 Winter Classics they were in. And that got a huge amount of press for that because that was
10 degrees below zero.
Yeah.
And what was it this last year that they were trying to pull something together but couldn't get it pulled off, so they just showed up wearing whatever.
Yep. So that's the big ones. We'll see. I'm sure over the next couple of weeks we'll learn more, and we will definitely share here. I did post in here in our little outline that some stuff that Pierre LeBrun has said that he's been kind of looking for. Just some interesting comments. I'll read them off very quickly. If you guys have any comments, you can go ahead. Stanley Cup. He says the Stanley Cup should be awarded by May 31st. Shorten camp and preseason. Drop the puck on regular season around September 15th. No more all-star games ever. Move draft earlier in June as a result of season ending earlier, and move opening of free agency to within 48 hours of draft ending in June. And then he says, okay, that's it. Can't really complain with a lot of those. September 15th feels a little early because, man, I feel like the ice here in St. Louis and then down south in Dallas and Florida, it's going to be a little rough at that point.
It used to always be first week in October, October 5th, 6th. That's when they would start. And now it's been later. I think COVID kind of screwed that up. But yeah, September 15th does sound early. Why don't they just go back to October 1st? I mean, I don't know.
I'd say every year, October 1st is your start day.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
I would say that this list was clearly written by a guy who is firmly ensconced owns a cabin in, on a lake in Canada crowd that most of the NHL GMs are a part of. So yeah, not surprising to see him with that list. I kind of dig how it is now. I think it's pretty good. Maybe you can roll the start of the season, especially if we're going to have to add 2 games. You move it back to October 1st, but never in September for the start of the regular season.
It sounds early.
Yeah, and I'll say the Stanley Cup awarded by May 31st. I'm not a fan of that. I'm crazy. I love hockey in June. I think it's when it turns to June 1st and we're still watching playoff hockey. I love that. I think that's an awesome thing.
What is the greatest day in Blues fandom history?
Wouldn't exist under Pierre LeBrun.
Right.
But he wants to start early and end early. So if we're going October 1st, then you could, mid-June it's over. Right.
Yeah.
So that's the no more all-star games ever. All-star games have gotten absurdly stupid in a handful of years. So I think they've ruined it for themselves. But in a way it makes me sad because they used to be cool a long time ago. Kind of. But they should do something else though. I mean, like they did last year. Last season. That was cool.
It'd be fun to just have a little mid-season tournament too. I'm even saying like
soccer does.
Top
NBA.
NBA.
Top 6 teams playing a tournament mid-season. Like, that'd be fun. I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Or the division leaders, play each other.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be
chance
cool.
to break each other's legs in a non-league game. It's brilliant.
Yeah, beautiful.
What could go wrong?
Someone gets hurt, and then all of a sudden we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, no,
that was happening in the Olympics anyway.
Yeah. I do agree. No more All-Star games, because the NHL just uses it as a showcase for sponsors, and like every commercial has got its own name on it at this point. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. The skills competition got really stupid. That
hurts me. I loved that growing up.
Yeah, growing up, that was much better than the All-Star game always.
Yep.
But
go
now,
back to the core stuff, right? They tried to bring in to showcase the passing, and realize that sometimes even Connor McDavid's gonna fuck this thing up, right?
Yep.
Go back to the core things. Speed, the speed skating, like that's cool. Accuracy shooting, that's awesome. And hardest shot, and then breakaway relay, you're done. Right, but they have to put on an entire afternoon.
Everything's a skip.
Keep the sponsors
Everything's a skip
sponsors
too,
happy.
Right? Waterbug's got it. Exhibition inline game. You do like an open sign up for NHL players. Hey, who here knows how to play inline? Okay, you're sign up. You're going to play in the inline game. Like, that would be fucking awesome.
Yep.
All right, let's move ahead. I want to close things up here relatively quickly. Still a lot to go over, but we're gonna have a couple shows here to talk about things. So real quick, let's talk about the NHL draft coming up. Nikki Glazer is going to reveal the Blues' first round draft selection live at Enterprise Center on Friday. Blues have 3 picks at the 2025 NHL draft, which will take place on round 1 is on Friday, so tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And then 2 through 7 will be on Saturday, June 28th on NHL Network. The club is expected to pick at number 19 overall right now. I saw Andy Strickland say this, and I was so happy. One of my least favorite things the NHL has announced ever was when they were like, we're going to go to virtual drafts. I think that is completely stupid. Every GM I've ever talked to when I was in the media was talking about how, like, that was the one time a year that they would all get together and just talk trades the whole time. And so when you don't even have them in the same room, that's just not going to happen anymore. So Andy Strickland did say on social media he thinks this might be the last year the NHL does it, because they're seeing this is just not exciting. Last year, I tuned in for the draft. I don't know if you guys did. I always make a big deal about it. I get, make sure I got beer on hand. I have friends over. We sit and watch the draft together. Last year, I was like, I watched like the first 3 picks, and I'm like, I'm done. Like, this is not exciting. This is stupid. So yeah, I'm all for go back to the way it was. Make it a big event. Let these players come into one arena and get called down, and you see the reactions from the fans and the family. I hope they do that, because I don't know. I don't even know if I'll tune in tomorrow, to be quite honest.
Be prepared for all of the prospect experts to be pissed off at everybody's pick, saying they should have picked so-and-so. At pick number, a team's drafting number 67 overall, and they pick somebody, and they're like, oh, no, they should have picked so-and-so. I'm like, you've never heard of this guy. You read a draft analysis on Hockey Prospects or something, and you fell in love with the guy because of the write-up, and you wanted him picked. This is the most absurd time of year for hockey social media, I think, because everyone pretends to be an expert when they know jack shit about these guys.
If you don't watch 8 hours of tape of every prospect, you're not doing it right.
Oh man, yeah. Poor. What was who was? It was Foley, Eric Foley, right? It was
Eric Foley
from Providence College.
The only reason I hate this, because you know that hockey. The person who said that is like, "See, I was right," It's the only reason was because he was injury prone. He got some crazy injuries and just could not come back. It wasn't because of talent.
It was concussions, right?
Yep.
He got dinged up real good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I'll be watching. Mostly because I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, I'll say I'll tune in, but I just lose interest now. I didn't used to. I'd sit like everybody shut up. I want to hear the next pick. Now I'm just like whatever, it's on.
So. Right. And really, Gary Bettman before he retires has to do it live in front of an audience so they can boo him.
One more time.
One more time.
Yep, agree. Lot of preseason stuff, or sorry, off-season stuff we can get into, but I just want to ask you guys one question. On July 2nd, will Jordan Kyrou still be a St. Louis Blue?
I'm not going to give yes or no answer because I don't like doing this stuff, but I will say it wouldn't surprise me at all if he's traded. Based on, and it's a small sample size, kind of, but the playoffs. He wilted as far as like he was a boy amongst men as far as being able to play and fight through traffic and stay on the puck. He was pushed out. He was pushed around in the playoffs, and I didn't care for. I didn't care for that at all. So
I will say in his defense, I felt that way about Robert Thomas in 2020 and 2021. I thought, whoa. He looks like a boy among men, but not the case anymore. I thought he looked pretty good in the last playoff, and then the last, was that 3 years ago when they were in the playoffs against Colorado? I thought he looked good. But having said that, Kyrou is 27. He's not a kid anymore.
Yeah, I would say he's been in the league for a while.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't like he was completely invisible. He had some great snipes on Hellebuck in that first round. But when the games got tight and everything came down to checking and coverage, he was a liability. And so, no, I wouldn't be surprised.
He's played 7 years.
Yeah. Right.
416 games. He's been in the league a while.
Right. He's got to know how to play those games too at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think the rumor that was being promulgated today, I think you covered this a little bit. Potential move for Noah Dobson for the New York Islanders. Good young right-hand shooting defenseman on an RFA contract. Could be a good long-term fit for the Blues. We haven't had like Parayko is number one guy now, but he's only got a couple years left in that slot. So who's next?
Yeah, and I'll say the other names that have been thrown around, more defensemen, Rasmus Anderson, Bowen Byram. I think Bowen Byram would be a guy that Armstrong would love to have, but he is a left shot defenseman. And right now, I just don't know if that's really anything the Blues need or even want, unless they can get a great package for him. But yeah, I'll admit, I don't even know if I'm really like the Blues, if they're going to trade him, need a defenseman. I'd like to see them go get a center personally. Braden Shen stepped in as a second line center last year and was great, but I don't think we can rely on that happening again. And obviously we've got some great depth coming up. Bullduke's rounding into a good NHL player. Jimmy Snuggerud, Dalibor Dvorsky. We've got a lot of guys that can step in and we think will be pretty solid for the Blues. But I would love, if this team is truly outside of their retool now, I'd love to see them go and get a seasoned second line center somewhere. And I think the only way you can do that is moving Kyrou. If it's not for someone like that, like to me, it's like you got to go get proven talent. I don't want more draft picks. I don't want more prospects. I think this team, they need to go get somebody who's ready now. And if that's not available to them, I say hold on to Kyrou, see what he can do.
And while the July 1st date is important because at that point his no trade clause kicks in. So right now he can be traded and he has no say. So
Right. And JR talked about, like, is Armstrong going to make this call or, and kind of potentially screw Steen out of a top end talent? I I think they're right. They're making joint decisions at this point. I don't know. I also think that the other thing that we didn't have in this playoff, that like Kyrou had a very good year with playing on a line with Dylan Holloway, and that didn't happen in the playoffs. I think Holloway's speed against Winnipeg puts us over the top in that series.
I think so too,
and opens up a lot more of the free opportunities that for Kyrou, where he tends to thrive. And so I think you err on the side of caution and keep him.
That's a great call.
It depends on the return. Like any trade for me. Like if you move him, you better get something that's going to that you need elsewhere. Bad. So that's because he's a valuable piece. I mean, I knocked him for the playoff play, but that he's still a very valuable player than teams would love to have. So
right. Yeah. If anybody on this current roster is going to get 40 goals, it's him.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll say too, I think what you said, Bill, 100%. That's something I think people forget. Like, and not saying you forgot Kurt, but like, saying that he kind of looked soft in the playoffs. If he's got Dylan Holloway on the other side, maybe we see Jordan Kyrou break through in a couple of those games. We don't know. We'll never know. But those two together did look very good. And I think if you move on from Kyrou, I think Holloway still does find somebody else to play with and still plays well for the Blues. But the
Dylan
way
Holloway,
they looked.
Holloway didn't make Kyrou stronger, more physical player, though. Kyrou is still the same.
But I agree. But what I'm saying is I think he gets more scoring chances, and we see him put more pucks in the net.
Possibly.
I think Holloway has the penetrating speed that Kyrou depends on to get open. Right?
Yeah.
Holloway can get in behind other teams' D, play on the boards, and help Shen create. Right. And I think that was a key to Shen's success this year, was the chemistry that those three found.
I think my issue with Kyrou was when he had the puck, though. So I mean, it wasn't an issue with him getting open when someone else had the puck. It was when he had the puck, he was pushed off of it and it was going the other way.
Me, Kyrou is the ultimate shooter. You just get open. Don't skate with the damn puck, even though we've seen him do some crazy shit with the puck. His shot is where it's at. And so, again, like what Bill said with Dylan Holloway, getting open, getting behind the defense, creating plays, get Kyrou open, and then let him take the shot. Don't expect Kyrou to be the guy on the boards because, I agree with you, Kurt. In the playoffs, I'm like, who the hell is this guy, and why are we paying him money?
He didn't look like he belonged out there on board play and the physical nature of the game. And some players are like that. It's not Kyrou is not some kind of outlier. It's just the way it is. Your line, the makeup of your team matters, right? You don't want to be the guy because you can get focused on and shut down. So you got to have help. And Holloway may have created more opportunity for Kyrou in the playoffs, but we don't know that yet. Hopefully, if he's with the team next year, hopefully that's the case in the playoffs.
We will see. Well, again, there's a lot of stuff we could talk about with free agency coming up, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll do another live show next week and discuss. But plenty of stuff going on. Development camp set for the Blues June 30th to July 3rd. All on-ice sessions are free and open to the public at Centene Community Ice Center. On-ice camp sessions will take place each day from noon until 1:15 and will be free and open to the public. All camp sessions will include 60 minutes of skills and power skating work, followed by a 15-minute 3-on-3 scrimmage. You guys think you'll be attending this at all?
Probably not.
Yeah, no. I've my daughter has softball playoffs, and we're leaving for the Ozarks. So,
I have this thing called work.
Yeah, me too. That's my issue. And what I always say is,
noon 1:15. No, it's during the day. I didn't notice that. Yeah, I can't go that.
Yeah, I work. I work remotely, and my job has literally told me, like, we don't care where you're at, as long as you're logged in doing work, we don't care. I've literally said before, I'm like, I'm just going to show up to these like practices or scrimmages or whatever, and I'm going to like work while I watch. And it's like, I don't ever do that. I never bring my laptop. I don't do that at all. I'm like, so no, I probably won't be there either. I hope I will be, but we'll see. Well, boys, plenty of other stuff to talk about. Is there anything else you'd like to mention before we close up?
I don't think so. I think you can shut her down, Earl.
What other option does he have?
None.
All right. Well, guys, this was fun. Great to be back. And again, folks, remember, we will be back with more shows. I'm going to try for every week, but I can't make that promise as of right now. We'll see how it goes. But happy to be back. Glad to be talking back with the boys. We'll see. Actually, you know what? I say we might do a show live next week. We probably will because it'll be free agency. So I would imagine if the Blues do anything, we'll try to do something.
Yeah, and if we do it like, Thursday night again, that's 4th of July Eve. So
I probably won't.
Oh, you'll be at the Ozarks.
I'll be it's either championship game if my daughter's softball team makes it that far, or we're leaving for the Ozarks. So
well, Bill and I can do it. We might get a guest host. We'll see. I know our friend Vanessa Graffis said she wants to come on, so we'll see. I think we will probably have a live show next week, but with 4th of July, it always kind of throws a wrench in things. So we'll see how it goes. But hopefully we'll be talking with you live next week. If not, I think we will have some type of show to talk about anything the Blues might do. Joe Schmo adds LGB. Hell yeah. Let's go Blues. Thanks to our amazing sponsor, Strike with Mike. You can find him over at strikewithmike.com. That will wrap up episode 34 of season 14 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the live show. We'll talk to you next week. For Bill Day and Kirk Price, I'm Jeff Ponder, and this was Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues. And why not? Let's go Cards. Let's go City.
Trade Kyrie.
We know where Kurt landed now. All right.
Yeah, I'm just messing with people.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go Blues, but who's City?
City sucks. God, they suck. All right, bye.
A Mark Goodson television production.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
One little, two little, three little engines. 4 little, 5 little, 6 little engines. Uh-oh, sorry, that one was a half-breed.
Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you. Staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life.